guys, I'm Ahana and welcome back to my channel. Now this is my 6th monthly update video and I honestly just can't believe how the time has flown, especially since the last one. I didn't even realize until I sat down to film that the next update was due. But it's all good and I always actually really enjoy reflecting over what I've done in the past month. So without further ado, as with all of my update videos, I'll be telling you what I did last month and what the plans are for the month ahead. If that sounds good to you, then keep on watching. The biggest update from this month is I am done fundraising at last. The round is closed and we have some fantastic partners on our cap table, and I've already made a couple of videos about fundraising at this point. It's been such a challenging period of this startup journey, but I'm so glad to be at the end of it, and all things considered, it actually went pretty well. We're not a very capital intense business, so the only real costs that we incur are hiring costs. We did the maths, we figured out what's the absolute minimum that we need to raise to stay alive for a time that we're comfortable with and make all the key hires so that we can hit the next goals that we have in order to raise a future round and then scale the business again from there. And I'm so happy and relieved to say that we have indeed hit that goal and have a 4-year runway with all the key hires. And at Clear, we like to move things nice and quickly, so the key hires have already joined the team. So now on payroll, finally, we have myself and Ben, my co-founder. We have our fantastic back-end engineer, who I'm pretty sure I mentioned in the previous video as well. His name is Rui, he lives in Canada, and we absolutely adore him. The second key hire is our UX designer, Monica. Now, actually, Monica has been working with the team for months at this point. She's pretty much already designed the whole app. She reached out to me pretty much out of the blue back when we just started the company, back when it was still called Hout. We knew each other from the high school we went to in Singapore, but we hadn't really spoken probably in about 5 years. But she reached out cold and she wanted to build up her portfolio of UX projects, and she was really into skincare. So since then, she worked with us on a pretty casual basis, but we absolutely love her work and we love working with her. So she's another one that we've cemented it in a little more official manner, and she is now on the team as well. And the third and final hire actually came from a place that we were not expecting it to. For those of you who follow me on LinkedIn, you'll probably know that we ran a big insight program for high school students over the summer. Something that I'm just very passionate about is educating children while they're still at school on what different career paths look like, and especially in very male-dominated areas. As of course, outreach to university is great, but having done a physics degree and being in the 20% minority, I almost already feel like university is too late, and you need to start that more holistic education younger and actually show school kids what different opportunities are out there. As if I'd have known what a startup was when I was 15 years old, who knows where I'd be right now. That's a joke, but in all seriousness, I think that as a school student, it can be so hard to actually know what different careers look like and what the day-to-day of a job is. With bigger companies, with investment banks, with tech companies, with law firms, they're super competitive to get onto their programs, but they still have the infrastructure to do a little bit of outreach to younger students. But in my opinion, I think, of course, startups aren't for everyone, but for certain personality types and people with certain skill sets, I think they are a fantastic route, and in fact one of the best ways that you can use your education to give back and have an impact on the world around you. But if you don't know what a startup is and you don't know how to get there, how to get from 0 to 1, what do? It's practically impossible. And with small companies with so much going on, it can be really hard to carve out the time to actually run a large insight program and take the time to train up younger students who probably don't have much professional experience at all, and give them a real taste of what the work looks like and answer any questions that they have about the experience. Nonetheless, this is something that I felt very passionately about, especially as a woman in STEM, a woman in physics, when I was a woman in tech, when I was a woman in finance, now a woman in entrepreneurship. I've always been in the minority. But I proved myself right this summer that the problem is that we're not going early enough, because our internship cohort of the 30 students was 57% female. I'll probably be making another video dedicated to this insight program that we ran as a whole, but to cut a long story short, one of the teams that we had was a tech team where some of the students who had previous coding experience were working on a JavaScript project. One of the students that joined the team for those few weeks was incredible. I mean, his GitHub was 10 times more impressive than mine. He's the type of student that spends all of his free time coding and wanted to learn languages, so he really wanted to learn actually about the tech stack that we were using. He'd never actually worked in a team before where you're using GitHub to manage issues, where you have to collaborate with other people. And so when school started, he actually said that he didn't want to stop the program. He wanted to continue and work with us. But the quality of his work was not just of someone who was gaining insight from the experience at the cost of us. He was adding so much value that it really felt wrong of us to not be compensating him in a way that matched the amount of amazing front-end work that he was actually doing and spotting bugs that even we missed. So now that we've fundraised, we've just extended an offer to him as well to join the team in a more formal capacity, but we've worked with him over the last few months and he is a superstar. Alongside fundraising, the other thing that's been happening this month is we've been starting to think about the marketing and brand building campaign. Now there are three sort of key levers here. The first is that one of our investors, Misfit Ventures, have a marketing agency under the Misfit umbrella. The second is that we have partnered with London Strategic Consultants, which is essentially a student consultancy organization for aspiring consultants. They partner with companies, both really small startups like ours and much bigger later stage companies as well. And the project that we're working on with our student consultants is all around brand building, marketing, not just looking at other beauty communities, but looking at other businesses in other verticals that have really built strong brand identity and community around an activity like Gymshark or Strava, for example. And the third lever is I have fantastic friends who don't know how to take holidays and are on a holiday before they start work and want stuff to do. So I have another friend who just graduated from Cambridge studying economics, and she'll be joining Bain as a consultant in January, but she was really keen to get involved with some of the marketing and the brand building and helping out with the content calendar. She's providing some of her creative insights into the process as well. So I've had these three fantastic groups of people starting to get the ball rolling on the marketing side, but as of next month, I will be much more hands-on in terms of planning on how to execute these plans that we have. The other thing that I'll be doing next month is more due diligence with cosmetic formulators and skincare brands around the data, and particularly how we can package the data in the way that would be most helpful for them, in the case of cosmetic formulators, for example, to actually improve cosmetic formulation. We were actually contacted by Beiersdorf, which is the parent company for Nivea and La Prairie, earlier this month, and had a really interesting preliminary conversation with them. And they were very interested in the user behaviors and the trends on our app. So we've definitely seen interest from them as well as some other companies who've approached us. But the plan is for next month to get some more LOIs in place, such that once we've executed on the product roadmap and the brand building and hit the user targets that we want to, we're able to turn on this tap of monetization and never have to fundraise again. I'm just kidding, or am I? No. Then from January to March, I'm becoming a full-time content creator because everything is set on the product side, the roadmap is done, the hires are done. That's already started moving at a really fantastic pace. I will just need to execute on the marketing itself. I'm so happy that this month is done, and as painful as fundraising was, I honestly did learn so much from it, and frustratingly felt like I got better at fundraising right at the end of the round. But in honesty, I met some incredible people through this experience, not just investors, but even other founders who helped guide me and coach me. They know who they are. I'm so grateful to have built those relationships through this experience. And that's where I'm going to leave this video. If you've enjoyed following along Clear's journey, please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. Alright, that's all for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.